Well, look at that. We're live for another Joking Adventure Hour. This is Monday, July 6th, 2026. Hello to X, Rumble, and BitChute. Hello to YouTube. Hello to Lurks and Bots. Hello to the chat. Hello to George.
Greetings.
We stream every night because the stories are real, but the news, they be fake.
Oh, yeah.
And before we jump in, be sure you get your copy of The Immortal Mass, a 200-page graphic novel, on sale on my website, Dinales.com, CriticalBlast.com, Amazon.com. So if you enjoy comics, you like good stories, you're welcome to purchase it and support this channel and me.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, jumping in. This is from Culture Crave. PlayStation hasn't posted in over 5 days on Twitter X. This has been their longest span of not tweeting in years. The post announcing that they are ending physical games production currently has 8 approved community notes. So every time they knock out the community notes, the community puts another note. So George,
this sounds like Wikipedia.
yeah. So George, what's the corporate translation in this?
They're scared. They're clearly they're bullshit to try to fleece their audience for more money. Has failed, and they don't know what to do. If they say we're sorry, it will look bad on them.
Yeah,
and they cannot. They will not do that.
Yeah,
especially the Japanese.
Right.
And
what's the dangerous things about it?
Mm-hmm.
People figured out that they said we don't need 50% people boycotting. We only need 5%.
Yeah, that was an easy thing. The 5% that you see that's a red herring. Okay, that's not a true statement.
Right.
I mean, it is a true statement in terms of they only need 5% who bitch and complain for them to turn tail. But see, the thing is, the 5% that are complaining are the whales.
Right.
You see, the normal people who just play it on occasion and shit like that,
you don't care.
Who are not whales, they don't give a shit about it.
Yeah.
They just don't care. But that 5%, is the whales. The whales give a fuck.
Yeah.
And their 5% is not 5%. Their 5%, I think, represents closer to 30, maybe 40% of their revenue.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
That's
a huge problem.
Right.
And corporate speak,
yeah,
right now, they are absolutely going to backtrack.
Right.
But they can't do it openly.
But
they're right now they're trying to figure out a controlled reconstruction of their bullshit, because it was so easy. It was so easy for the audience to say, "Oh, really? If the audience really wants digital, oh, let's look at the numbers." Not.
But they doubled down with saying that they're closing.
Of course, they doubled down because they were they were ignorant of their situation.
How can you be ignorant in your situation?
Okay, obviously they are ignorant of their situation because they said the audience only wants digital, not physical.
Right.
They were ignorant, and then when people were calling them out, they thought, oh, maybe it's just a very small number of people. We can manage that.
Maybe they'll forget.
Yeah, but again, they were ignorant.
And then
audience.
Oh, and then people start digging into their terms and service. You know what they found as well?
What?
A lot of YouTube channels been talking about this. Basically, in their account says if you don't log in, and this is because of the EU laws, mind you.
Okay.
But if you don't log in within 36 months of your account, they'll have to terminate and erase that account. That means any digital purchase attributed to that account is lost.
36 months?
36 months.
That's 3 years.
Yeah. So, imagine, imagine maybe you were like in a coma and you wake up, 3 years in one day.
I guess you're gonna have to put a cow sign over your neck. If in coma, please check my PlayStation account.
Exactly. Or maybe you're like Tom Hanks, Castaway, stuck in a desert island.
Yeah, make sure you have what we call a fallback
Right.
email that
No.
actually gets reset
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
So if you don't sit there to click cancel to send out the email,
Yeah.
email or might get sent
But
out to
but
every
it's
newspaper on the
right.
planet saying,
Yeah.
check my PlayStation account, please.
But the point is, right? It's not even that they delete it after 32 months. They can't. They don't. You can't reverse it, right? They won't reverse it, and also,
Okay, we okay. Before you continue, we
yeah,
all know that's bullshit because
they.
no
That's why.
one's
That's
gonna
why.
no one's
That's why.
gonna delete any data.
That's why I said I said that they
Data
won't.
is gold to Facebook, X, and everybody else on the planet, including
Right.
Sony. They won't delete your data. They will keep it. They just won't give you access to it.
Right.
And they'll say you deleted it. Oh, it's gone. It's
It's
bullshit
gone
because
forever.
you are
Yeah.
data to them and you are gold.
Right. So
Yeah.
returning back to the point, George,
Mhm.
because I don't even care about that anymore. We said it so many times, but people
Mhm.
won't. People will be people. No, the issue, right,
Mhm.
is that people are starting to realize, hey, you bought a license, you didn't buy a product.
Yep.
Even the disc is a license.
Mhm.
So, oh, I have a physical disc. Well, does it play without going online? No. Oh, then you don't really have a physical disc. You know, you have nothing. You have a card key.
Yeah.
That's basically what the what was it, the computer games back in the 90s. Oh, you don't put the disc to down to play the game. You use the disc to verify that you actually have key access to the game. So, hey, what happened if the servers goes down? Well, you can't get into that internet anymore. Guess you can't play that game anymore, right?
Oh no.
Oh no, you can't download that game anymore because the server for that game is no longer available. What will you do? See?
Yep.
So basically, people are realizing, oh, we need some kind of better system to preserve our games. Or people are starting to say, you know what? If Sony doesn't want to do disc anymore, that's fine. License out the disc to another manufacturer. They'll do it. But that's the point. Getting there, people are starting to realize how little ownership of their games they have.
Yep.
All right, moving on. You know, living in India is basically a death game. Will you make it to the next day without dying?
What the hell is this?
Exactly how you're seeing. The guy's driving with a wrench.
That's a vice clip.
Vice clip, excuse me.
What the unholy hell is this?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. He can't afford a steering wheel, so he'll use a vice grip to become his steering wheel.
He couldn't go to the local junkyard and get himself a new steering wheel?
What are you
Jeez.
talking about? Wow, look at Fancy Man over here. Going to the junkyard, going to get a steering wheel. So fancy.
Honey, we're taking the kids on a road trip. Where are we going, dear? The junkyard. Hey, kids, we're going to the junkyard.
Yay! All right.
It's better than going to the swimming pool.
All right. So I'm choosing this guy because he's from the left, so they're giddy about this.
Mhm. What's
but
going on?
Laura Loomer is the one who's reported this morning. So there's multiple report from a variety of sources on the left, right, and left claiming that Mitch McConnell has been unconscious for a week and is likely brain dead. The fact that family members and Republican insiders are not pushing back on the report tells you everything you need to know. It's time for a special election, Kentucky. So basically, there's his wife, Elaine, who is Secretary of Transportation, also has fled and met with the Vice President of China. His daughter, who's been is a Democrat and always verbally opposing her father on social media, has gone silent since his collapse. And
Oh,
there's no videos of him, saying I'm okay, I'm just a little tired. No statement from Mitch McConnell, only from the office of Mitch McConnell. I guess Turtle is no more.
that's too bad.
They're going. I think they're going to be weekend at Bernie him until it's until until the elections. So here's Laura Loomer saying Mitch McConnell is being kept alive by life support machines, but my White House source told me Mitch McConnell is an organ failure. And as the reported sources told me, he has allegedly been declared a vegetable, brain dead by doctors. And the White House has told Mitch McConnell isn't ever coming back. Hey, George, remember what they say about sources. If you can't name them, it's bullshit. But you know what? Let's play this game, right?
Mm.
Officially brain dead, organ failing, accelerating, life support machines keeping him alive, but his brain is officially dead. And his wife, Elaine Chao, has fled the country to China. I wonder if she brought any of his documents or briefing with her to China.
Woo.
So I don't know. That's a very super duper interesting question. I doubt that they would allow her to fly, and not be with her husband and be buried next to her husband as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's all you can do about it, right?
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Let me see. Where is it? Oops. There you go. All right. So let's move on to the next one. Okay. Parody Jeff. This is insane. California Jewish State Senator Scott Wiener just killed a bill to ban registered child sex offender from running for office. The bill died. Registered offender can still continue to run for school board and more in California.
What?
Potentially a very dangerous road we're going down to say that minor crimes are going to ban you for life from running for office. That we live in a democracy where people get to run for.
You get the joke? You get the joke?
No. Let this guy finish and then explain it to me.
For office, including people who have a lot of flaws. Potentially a very dangerous road we're going down to say that minor crimes are going to ban you.
I get it now. Minor crimes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, the people who are questionable and are in office can get convicted.
Yeah.
And that's the difference.
Yeah. No, they're just using our taxpayer monies now to pay off the victims.
What an asshole, man!
Yeah.
If you murdered someone, you're not going to run for office.
Yeah, you are. Look at Dick Cheney.
Okay. All right. If you do something very nasty with children, you're not going to run for office. Oh, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
That's practically most of the Democrats, isn't it?
Scott Wiener. I mean,
okay. Here, wait a minute. I got it.
wait. I was thinking the other wiener.
Yeah. Okay, I got it.
I apologize.
If you don't have a complete Lego collection, you can't run for office. There you go. See? There you go. It's that simple. Oh, shut up,
man. Fox News. America is burying a nearly 1-ton time capsule beneath Philadelphia Independence National Historical Park as part of the nation's 250th birthday celebration. Inside are nearly 200 artifacts from all 50 states, Washington, D.C., the U.S. territories, all 3 branches of the government, and everyday Americans, including a sign, pocket constitution, a crystal from the 2026 Times Square, New York Eves Ball, a Coca-Cola message in a bottle, a Rose Parade flag, and capturing life in America today. The waterproof capsule is being sealed underground for the next 250 years and is expected to be open until 2276. Man, I know that number. That was Fallout number. I don't want to have the world burning. Okay. That's all I can say before YouTube strikes us.
Yep.
Pirate Nation, Polygon has started to trash Red Dead Redemption 2 with clickbait articles. Remember, some days ago, the Canadian media company Valnet has introduced new contract for freelance writers at these websites. Instead of receiving a payment for each article, writers will only be paid according to the number of people who read their work. Under the new system, writers who publish their own article will earn $8 for every 1,000 page view. So they will start with these articles to get clicks.
Oh, no.
So they're becoming even more rage baiting articles and not actual journalism. At this point, you should just self-publish.
Oh, don't you dare bring that up.
So, don't you dare. Benny Johnson. All right. This was Trump at like 11 o'clock Eastern time, 4th of July. Wait.
You can.
Wrong one. Mount Rushmore. So that was July 3rd.
You can be loyal to Karl Marx, or you can be loyal to America. You can be a communist, or you can be a patriot. You cannot be both. As for those who peddle Marxist lies about our heritage, tell our children that we live on stolen land or that our heroes were oppressors, they're doing something much worse than slandering our past. They are slandering and attacking our future. Not going to let that happen. They're trying to tear down the great American character, to destroy the people who declared independence, who crossed the Delaware, who settled the West, and who conquered the skies. You know who those people are. But we will never let that happen. Our American ancestors did not shed their blood at Concord and Trenton, Gettysburg and Shiloh, Midway and Normandy, just so that a band of thieves, radicals, and lunatics could come in and loot and pillage our nation. Our heroes died to win, build, and to save, and to build truly a great country, the greatest country ever in the world.
There you go.
Yay.
The greatest country in the world. Drew has some thoughts, George. It's actually amazing and disgusting how psyops Australians have become about America. I'm going to have to write a massive thing about my trip like Australian Torqueville. What I have concluded is that our media and political class has peddled the myth that every single American is dying on the street of poverty and social collapse solely in order to hide the fact that our own living standards are collapsing. Their middle class is literally our upper class. Guys, the top tax rate in Australia is 47%, kicks in at the equivalent of $130,000 USD. Meanwhile, you can earn $225,000 USD, managing a effing Bucky's car wash year. That's is 325,000 Australia for a job that does not require a college degree. Fake nuclear engineers in UK starts on £20,000 or 26,000 US or 38,000 Australia. The top tax rate in Texas is 37%, and it starts at 768,700 USD as a married couple, and that's the equivalent of $1 million salary in Australia. We're talking a difference of hundreds of thousands of dollars each year in your own back pocket. My friend moved here for work. On his salary in Australia, he would have paid an extra 15,000 Australian dollars in each tax year.
Mm-hmm.
That is literally how much it costs to raise a kid, according to the latest official estimate. So now he's planning on having children with his Australian wife. He can finally afford to start a family. His place is bigger than mine in Australia. He rents it for the equivalent of 600 Australian dollars a week, whereas my rent is 900 Australian dollars, and I need roommates to afford it. We're at the same age, and I think we earn roughly the same income, but our lives in his own massive place with his wife, and they're now planning a kid. Meanwhile, I live in a room with roommates in a small rental. We're so as abysmally cut in Australia that they're living so much better in America. The difference really comes when it's comparing the bottom 10% lives in each society. Of course, if I was disabled or something, I would definitely prefer the social support net in Australia. In America, you can completely drop off the cliff into pure social collapse if you're in the bottom 5-10% in a way that I don't think exists in the Australia society. By the way, he's kind of wrong. It's only portrayed that way because we have a lot of individuals who are not supposed to be on the social welfare fund. So the actual 5-10% who actually need it are not receiving it or receiving a smaller portion of it. That's how you're getting the phenomena of skid roads and fentanyl zombie in the Democratic cities like LA and San Francisco, which I saw last week. It was fucked. The overwhelming majority of Americans lives better than Australia. If you're a middle class here, it's the equivalent of being upper class in Australia. The manager of Bucky's car wash would be a top 1% earner in Australia. That's how much money, wealth, and abundance exists in America. I wish Australia could see it so we could shock ourselves out of our own self-imposed decline. It's completely self-imposed, but due to all the tall puppy syndrome, we've refused to see it. And then he's showing here Bucky's now hiring paid weekly, cashier, gift, maintenance, warehouse, grocery stocker, $16 an hour. Food and service and car wash, 19. Team lead, 18 to 21. Department manager, 23 to 31. Full time, 35, 50 hours, no experience necessary. Assistant general manager, 100,000. Car wash manager, 125,000. Food service manager, 125 to 175 manager. General manager, which is the store manager, 150 to $225,000. There you go. Oh, and you get a $2 over hour for overnights.
All right. What I'm hearing is something I actually never even considered. And no, let's just take a moment for just let's take a break for a moment before we go to the next.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, it was a complete surprise that America was literally writing welfare checks to the entire fucking world.
Yep.
And the entire world being every socialist country on the freaking planet.
Yep.
And they were saying how wonderful their system is. America should be more like them. America was supporting them.
That's a hilarious part.
Okay, so that's one thing.
Yep.
Okay, so you can let that you can just gloss that over, right?
Because we're glossing it over.
The money stopped,
right?
And every single one of those socialist countries, they need to get their shit together, big time, and fast. But the standard of living
Mm-hmm.
the way of life
Mm-hmm.
that that the socialist countries were saying how wonderful it is there compared to America, is that they absolutely had no understanding. They were not comparing, yeah, on an equal. They weren't comparing apples to apples. They were comparing apples to Rotten Tomatoes,
Yeah.
right? The Rotten
Yeah.
Tomatoes being with the socialist country, and for them to come to America and look at the basics standard of living and the basic standards of the way of life in America, and they look at it and they say, this is how the top uh, percentage of our country lives. It's like, holy smokes,
Their rich is our middle class.
that blows my mind. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because these people have been living perpetually in a matrix
Mm-hmm.
of their own doing.
Mm-hmm.
Their standard of their way of life has been lowered to such a degree that for them to say that middle class
Mm-hmm.
America
Yeah.
is upper class,
For them.
beyond upper class
Well,
in their country.
well, George, I always heard this saying
Wow.
that always made me appreciate it, but they always said, if you're making $34,000 in America, you're already richer than 90% of the world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a metric that I didn't even think it was possible
Yeah.
to even consider.
Yeah.
Just how low there's, because before them coming to America and
Yeah.
and just goo goo gaga over Bucky's, a
Yeah.
gas station.
Yeah.
That's basically a Costco and a Walmart combined together
Mm-hmm.
with a military we're called base.
Proficiency. Yeah.
Yeah, military we're called replenish base.
Yeah.
With it, right? Okay,
Teapot.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So you're going like, wow, holy smokes. No wonder the American dollar compared to the other socialist countries is huge, where it's what 1.5, 2, 3 compared to their to their $1.
Yeah.
For every $1
Which is
American, it's like $3, $4, $5 of that socialist country.
that's why Americans can take their Social Security money, right, and move to another country and live very well, because that's how strong the dollar is.
That just absolutely it just breaks my heart. It does, because what we're talking about is whole families.
Yeah.
People are suffering
Yeah.
unnecessary.
Yeah.
This unnecessary suffering is quantifiable at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And that just blows my mind. I mean, we're grateful. I mean, as a Canadian, I'm I'm grateful that my parents came from Greece here with nothing, literally nothing, other than the money that they're able to scrape together and get on a plane and become Canadian citizens. And we are living next to the greatest country on the planet. All right, which is Canada.
you should move down. You should move down to the greatest.
No, I don't want to lower. I don't want to lower my standards, sir. Okay. but it's like we're just grateful, as a family, as a legacy, to be in North America.
Mm-hmm.
What happens to America happens to Canada. That's just a given, because you are a Christian nation. We are a Christian nation.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bullshit. That's what it is. That's just a fact of history. And our cultures are so intertwined. It's ridiculous. Going up into high school, we knew just as much about American history as knew about Canadian history, like Laura Secord, the chocolate. So it's it was like Schoolhouse Rock. Everybody knew Schoolhouse Rock. Everybody knew the Constitution. Everybody knew about the creation of hockey and basketball, which was in Canada, and stuff like that, right? And our prime ministers are the Hudson Bay Company. Just every little detail of Canadian history and American history was taught in school. So, but and we're going, oh no, we're suffering, the poor this, the poor that. It's like, if I'm extrapolating at this point, if they actually looked at these people who came to America and they looked at the standard of living for the poor that's there, and if they do a correlation of 1-to-1 with their middle class people, or right, so America's poor is a 1-to-1 correlation with the middle class of the socialist country. That's a big fucking problem, because the poor in the socialist country are practically starving and dying. And one thing I heard about just recently, and maybe it was one of the news stories that we did.
Yeah.
They said, what was it? Really? You're worried about the poor people in America? Have you looked at the poor people in America? They're all fat. How's the majority of them are fat? How's that possible? If they're poor and starving, how are they still fat?
The world would
there should be bones by now.
Yeah.
It's like that just blows my mind. I see this is a slow burn. I see this as a slow burn. People are going to go back and say they're going to pass on what they saw about America, what experienced about America. They're going to show their social media. They're going to show their photos on their phones and all that stuff.
That's the point.
And slowly it's gonna go stop being a whispered, oh, this is about America. It's going to be more like,
why can't we have that here?
Yeah, why can't we have that here? Or it will be, it will be for some people their new life goal.
Yeah,
to go to and live in America,
or change their country into the next America.
Yeah. Ideally, a lot of them would want to that. That's a goal with a lot of people who are in socialist countries. They go, we want more like America, but the uphill challenge to that, it takes commitment. I mean, it's as hard as trying to collect every Spider-Man issue since Fantasy 15.
Well, I mean,
that's a commitment, man.
Yeah, that's a commitment, and not many people have the wallet to get it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Resources, wallet.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to eat. You have to live. You have to have food, shelter, and clothing. If for you to put that much attention to try to change the nature of how your country is managed, that's a huge effort. That's not easy. The challenge is big. You can look at countries around the world with a huge uphill challenge, like America. And Trump's in office, but it's a huge uphill challenge. He's constantly getting attacked. Quite literally in all ways, physical attacks and mental attacks and corporate attacks and legal attacks and procedural attacks through government shenanigans, it's a monumental uphill battle. Let that sink in for a moment. And you have to ask yourself, are you Trump level worthy?
Mm-hmm.
You know that picture of Uncle Sam pointing at you? That should be Trump. And it says, I want you to serve. No, are you Trump worthy? I think that's a more accurate for today's way of life. Anyways,
Interesting.
Where were we?
You got blown away by another country's.
Oh yeah. Laura Secret chocolate. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Oh, did you know that Angel Studios is going to release a Hershey movie in November?
What?
Yeah, the gentleman Hershey, Mr. Hershey.
Yeah. What about him?
Yeah, they made a movie about him, and they're going to release it in November by Angel Studios.
Oh, I hope they have free chocolates.
That would be a nice promotion.
Yeah, go see the Hershey movie, get a free chocolate.
Yeah.
Well, let me rephrase that. Go to the Hershey movie and get a free 10-pound chocolate bar that's the size of your arm.
Nah, they're just gonna give you kisses.
I was in Niagara Falls one time, long time ago, and there was a Hershey store.
Yeah.
And I said, I want that chocolate bar. And my mom and dad said, what chocolate bar? That one right there. My mom said, no, hold on a second. That's not a chocolate bar, son. That's wallpaper. I said, no, Mom, that's a chocolate bar. And she looks at it. She goes, oh my God. So was it 3 feet across? 5 feet high? It looked like a what do you call it? A beach blanket. We would have to leave my brother behind if we needed to bring the chocolate bar home unbroken. Sorry, little brother. The chocolate bar demands that we put it in the back seat.
Interesting.
Oh no, but holy smokes, that's a huge chocolate bar, and it's too bad. Chocolate's not being scarce, and they're putting chemicals into the chocolate.
They're not even chocolate anymore.
Yeah, they can't even call it chocolate anymore.
Exactly.
Holy smokes.
That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
That's what happens when it becomes no longer becomes a family business. It becomes a corporation.
Wow.
I remember we played a story that because Hershey owns Reese's peanut butter cups, right? And basically, the grandson who created the Reese's peanut butter was slamming Hershey for changing the ingredients and recipe for it, making it like, what is this? This isn't what my grandfather made.
Yeah, it's sad that you live long enough to see the company that you built to be evil.
Yeah, and if you saw it, Mr. Hershey was a very worker friendly employer. He's like, I'm giving my workers, livable wages, even at the cost for me, and I'm going to build out this town, make it into a industrial town. The factory as the main driving force. Base of the Great UK government is to take control of YouTube algorithm. Keir Starmer's Annie Burnham government is set to control the YouTube algorithm by law by stipulating that they must approve content to UK citizens.
Here's the thing. I don't buy it.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is just hollow story.
Hollow.
Yeah, it is, because let's just play this out just for a moment, okay?
Sure.
YouTube's an American company.
Yeah, they should do like 4chan pound sand.
Yeah, no,
or like Elon Musk.
but no,
Pound
for this is beyond 4chan.
Mhm.
YouTube's an American company.
Yeah.
Okay. The one thing that's in America that is like a no
Mm-hmm.
is for government to have access to social media, like the Biden administration had access to Twitter and Facebook and every place else, right?
Yeah.
That has come to an end. Well,
Mm-hmm.
if the British government has access to the YouTube algorithm, you think the American government on both sides will allow that?
Nah, man. Nah.
Yeah.
Like I said, they'll need to say pound sand.
Oh, this is a setup of some kind.
Something's happening.
Yeah, something's happening in the background. This is not the complete story. There's no way the British government will have access to an American company of this magnitude. The American government
What are you talking about?
will never allow that. Will
guys?
never allow that. Sorry.
What are you talking about? Isn't TikTok was owned by China, and you guys had got them to divest and all that stuff?
Yeah, see, that's just it, right?
Yeah.
Government had control of social media, and America didn't allow that.
Yeah.
So it got broken up and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing here.
Yeah. So Colonel Tom Watkins is more interesting when you know her family is from Taiwan. Desiree Townsend, why did Elaine Chao, Mitch McConnell's wife, who married in '93, run straight to China to meet with the high-ranking government official 3 days after he went to cardiac arrest? And why did the mainstream media cover up the EMS dispatch audio until I released it on social media?
What?
The People's Daily Online. Chinese Vice President meet former U.S. Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao, Mitch McConnell's wife. Could Elaine Chao have disclosed non-public health information to high-ranking Chinese government official during her trip to Beijing just 3 days after dispatch audio, purposely ignored by the media, indicated that her husband, Mitch McConnell, went to cardiac arrest? So why would his wife travel to China if he's in critical care? George, if you went into critical care, do you think your wife would be traveling to her home country or
yes,
country?
The home country will be Toronto.
All right. Brian Ward, what's unfolding in New Orleans should alarm the entire nation. The state attorney general warned New Orleans official in writing that their plan to seat an unauthorized office holder through a special election the state no longer recognized was unlawful. For issuing that warning, the city convened a grand jury and indicted her on 16 felony counts of public intimidation and malfeasance in the office. Then the court seals its door against the press, handcuffing a journalist and their attorney for attempting to cover the proceeding in defiance of state law. Now the state Supreme Court has stayed the action. The state refuses to rescind the arrest warrant. This is a direct assault on America by corruptly using the force of one's office to achieve an unlawful result. So, something's happening in Louisiana because Louisiana is the only state in the union, George, that use civil law, not common law.
What?
Yeah. Civil, like the French, civil law, not common law.
I was not aware.
Yeah. So something's this is a fight right there, back and forth. Oh, by the way, German soccer fan who flew to U.S. Let's get his reaction for the World Cup series.
Sorry.
It makes you teary. Why? Help us understand. Why is it so impactful to you?
Sebastian Krauts never imagined his trip to America would be so emotional.
Yeah. No, you're human. Happy tears.
In just a few weeks being here,
I fall in love with this country, and this was so emotional. I even cried in the stadium.
It's a huge departure from what he was expecting before traveling to follow the German soccer team in its World Cup run.
To be honest, I was a bit scared or had the fear to travel to the United States. News about shootings and criminals and that the country is not safe. Bob takes us home. It's great. America is great.
Sebastian met a group of strangers who offered him a ride to his hotel.
What is the best city?
Boston.
That's Bob Series and his family, New Englanders who showed a group of Germans that Boston is warmer than some might believe.
Bob, thank you. Love USA.
Enjoy your time in the U.S.
To me, I watched the video by myself maybe 40 times. I had tears in my eyes.
Sebastian was more upset about the prospect of leaving America than Germany being eliminated from the tournament. That kindness he experienced is also what many locals and transplants have lived as well.
I loved living here. I thought the people were always so kind.
People here are very polite.
The World Cup just made it easier for folks to see.
That's real America, not the illegal America who's not, adapting, acclimating. What's the word?
Yep.
Integrating.
Not being a melting pot.
Right. So if you're not melting potting, then you're not being part of the society. So you become this chaotic element.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It's a shame. Oh, by the way, 7-Eleven's, this is from Wall Street Ape, 7-Eleven celebrate their 60th birthday with these massive Slurpees. The giant Slurpee cups were up to 16.5 inches tall, and prices ranges from $3.99 to $6.99 depending on the size and location. Apparently, people were having issues finding a straw big enough. They run out of oversized straws. According to AI, this could have been as much as 25 plus grams of sugar, the equivalent of 20 Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yeah, apparently the straw that we're talking about is like 3 feet long.
Yeah, see?
Holy smokes. That's not going to fit in the cup holder, but he can try.
He's like, it wasn't supposed to fit in my cup holder.
It's amazing. It's sugar water, and they're making a lot of money on sugar water.
Yeah. Flavored sugar water. Insurrection Barbie. In September of 1814, America was in trouble again. The young republic was only 38 years old. The War of 1812 has gone badly. The British troop has marched into Washington, burned the Capitol, set the White House ablaze, and turned their sight towards Baltimore. If Fort McHenry fell, the harbor would be open, the city would likely follow, and another devastating blow would be dealt to the fragile nation. Amidst this uncertainty, a young American lawyer named Francis Scott Key sailed under a flag of truce to the British fleet. He came to negotiate the release of a friend, a physician the British had captured. He succeeded. The British agreed to free this doctor. But there was a catch. Because Key and his companions had seen too much of the British fleet and learned too much about its plan, they were not allowed to return to shore. Instead, they were detained aboard a ship in the harbor and forced to watch the coming battle from behind enemy lines. On the morning of September 13, the bombardment began, and for the next 25 hours, the British warship unleashed somewhere between 1,500 and 1,800 bombs and rockets upon Fort McHenry. These were the bombs bursting in air and the rockets' red glare of the song. Not poetic embellishment, but terrible realities. Key stood on the deck through the endless night In the long, terrifying night, every explosion lit the darkness for a fleeting instant before the smoke swaddled everything again. Somewhere beyond the wall of fire stood the fort, and somewhere beyond it flew the American flag. If it still flew at all, he could not see, he could only listen. As long as the guns continued firing, there was a reason for hope. The British would not waste ammunition on a fort that had already surrendered. Then, just before dawn, the guns fell, and for the first time all night, there was only stillness. It was the most frightening sound of all. Had the fort finally fallen? Had its defenders surrendered? Had the flag been torn down in darkness while no one could see? There was nothing to do but wait. At the first light of September 14, slowly pushed back the smoke, and Francis Scott Key strained his eye towards the distant fort. And then he saw it. Not a British flag, but the American flag. Still there, still flying. The flag was no honorary banner. Months earlier, the fort commander had commissioned a Baltimore flag maker, Mary Pickersgill, to sew a flag so enormous that the flag could have no difficulty seeing it from a distance. It measured roughly 30 by 42 feet, carried 15 stars and 15 stripes, and was so large it had to be assembled on the floor of a brewery because no honorary room could contain it. That was the Star-Spangled Banner, the very flag Key saw through the morning mist. The very flag that still survives today in the Smithsonian. Overcome by what he witnessed, Key reached into his pocket, pulled out an envelope, and began writing. The word came from the heart that had spent an entire night, fearing his country might disappear with the dawn. His first title poem, The Defense of Fort McHenry. Within days it was printed, circulated through the country. Before long, people began singing it to the melody that they already knew, an old British tune called it to Anachron in Heaven. Originally written for a London social club, there was something beautifully ironic in that. America's most beloved patriotic song borrowed the melody of the very nation it just survived. It also explained why the anthem is so notoriously difficult to sing. It was never written for honorary voice gathered in stadiums or school assembly. The song spread quickly and became one of America's favorite patriotic hymns, but it could wait more than a century before it received official recognition. Not until 1931 did Congress declare the Star-Spangled Banner the national anthems of the United States. And there you go, George. Old Star-Spangled.
The actual flag. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh my God.
The actual flag. Still preserved in the Smithsonian.
It's bigger than I thought. Oh my God, that's just my mind's blown away.
30 by 42 feet, George.
The level of commitment,
yeah.
The men and sons that fathers and sons did to maintain the flag.
Yeah.
Through the bombardment and the untold number of casualties.
Yeah.
Wow.
Grit, George. Grit. We don't quit.
That's just that's amazing. I've actually never thought I would see something like this awesome in my life.
Yeah.
Holy smokes! If I ever come to America, this is the one place I would visit first, after Buc-ee's. And
well, I went to Philadelphia. I saw the first Supreme Court, the place, in the first Congress, and one of the original documents of the Constitution and Declaration of Independence.
Wow, to be what, 6 feet away from it, or less?
No, it was right there behind a sealed glass on a podium where you can step up and read the words.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just incredible history. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Of course, send me that link. by the way.
Okay.
Just ask for a friend.
Just asking for a friend.
Yeah, and now I have to reconsider if I come to America. I'll see that. I'll go see the flag.
Yeah.
But before that, I'll go see Buc-ee's, and before that, I go to the Playboy Mansion, Hustler Mansion, Penthouse Mansion, Elvis grave. Give respect to Elvis.
I mean, Graceland, yeah.
Graceland, yeah. What we call Las Vegas, yeah.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. Let's not forget Las Vegas, and also the secrets pyramids in the Grand Canyon, Area 51. Just a few things.
Just a few things.
Just before I get there.
You realize it's a huge continent, George.
Yeah.
It'll probably take a year for you to do all that.
Well, I am going to be walking because I don't have a driver's license.
Right. Colonel Tom Watkins. This happened right after Chicago Chief of Police and FBI OIC retired. QAC, federal official, says 179 people were charged, 305 were arrested, 24 missing children were recovered during Operation New Dawn in the Chicago area. And the roughly 60-day operation involved 11 federal agencies targeting violent crimes. So from people, 305 people arrested, 179 charged, 24 missing children recovered in a massive operation in Chicago. Nearly 200 people were charged in a human trafficking, child trafficking initiative in Chicago.
Wow.
So what I've been noticing, George, is that this has been the most that we've been recovering kids. I remember as growing up, it was like, oh, this kid is missing, and you couldn't find them at all. And then by chance, you would find one or another, but that was like miracles. Since Trump has been coming back, right? They've been finding more and more missing kids per day.
It sounds like the system was there's a word for it. I know there's a word for it. Give me a minute. There's a word for it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was gamed. Sounds like the system was gamed.
Yeah. And funny enough, the two, I guess, gatekeepers, chief of police and FBI OIC retire, and they're able to find this. Huh. What a coincidence.
Yeah.
The Wall Street Apes, U.S. government quietly passed legislation allowing the U.S. government to legally lie on financial records. SFFAS 56, the Statement of Federal Financial Accounting Standard 56, allowed the U.S. government to legally modify or omit financial record to protect classified activities cooked to books.
What?
Yeah. So this means that the federal departments and governments like the CIA, Pentagon can outright lie to us about their spending and omit what they're doing on reports. They legalize stealing from us, and we're not allowed to know about it. Well, then you need to, vote for people to reverse that.
Yep.
And then this was a video from Elon Musk who reposted it from Heavy Pulp. I just find it interesting that he would post it. Everybody's been sharing this all weekend.
And what's that? Oh, this. Yeah, this is the same that we saw yesterday?
The same that I shared to you yesterday.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
All right. And then last for tonight, I'm a poor dog. Sucker.
Oh, yeah. That dog.
You learned a new tactic.
He knows. When he knows, he knows.
He knows, he knows. All right, buddy. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to all our lurkers. George, what's your final thoughts?
Yep.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow for more. Until then, bye.
I believe that together we can make America great again. I believe that together we can make America great again.